We lost singer, songwriter, and master storyteller Todd Snider on November 14th this year, 2025. And what a loss it is. It's a loss that hit me personally hard, and as I didn't know Todd personally and hadn't even been to a show, I'm trying to understand why it hit me so hard. Todd died November 14th at age 59, apparently after a bout of walking pneumonia. Todd Snider had an incredible career. He wasn't a household name like Willie Nelson, Chris Christopherson, or Jimmy Buffett, but he was well known and loved by many across the country and around the world. My connection to Todd does make sense. I'm a musician, playing since I was 16. I play guitar, a lot of acoustic guitar, bass, and also write songs. Todd wasn't someone I listened to with any regularity, but when I first heard him, I'd say 10 plus years ago, he reminded me of why I play music. I felt a bond, a connection to him pretty quickly. He reminded me of how I felt when I first started listening to acoustic music and the singer-songwriters. How I felt sitting in the audience watching someone who could take a flat-top guitar and a microphone and like magic draw the crowd into their performance. Todd was a swashbuckling, traveling troubadour, a Woody Guthrie for the 80s, 90s, and beyond. He hit it big in the late 90s and into the 2000s. He played on The Tonight Show when Jay Leno was host. He was on Letterman, MTV when it was about music, and many other top TV shows of the day. In his life, he certainly burned the candle at both ends, living life at a breakneck pace. His 2014 book about his life, titled I Never Met a Story I Didn't Like, ended with the words, "Build a man a fire and he'll be warm for the night. Set a man on fire and he'll be warm the rest of his life." Todd's career in life was a man on fire. He had a disdain for authority. He battled the suits, but he also battled his own demons. Todd was open about his use of drugs and alcohol. He never hid anything. He talks about his stays in rehab in the book. In one particular stint in rehab in Arizona, he met a woman, Melita, who he would ultimately marry. I don't know why his death hit me so hard. I'd known who he was and heard a few of his songs. Todd had so many great songs. Can't Complain, Beer Run, Talkin' Seattle Grunge Rock Blues, The Story of the Kingsmen, Statistician's Blues, Double Wide, The Devil You Know, Force of Nature, East Nashville Skyline, Devil's Backbone Tavern, and Play Me a Train Song, to name a few. He had a great catalog, each song carefully crafted in lyrics, timing, and honesty. I'd play some of his tunes in this video, but I'd probably get in trouble with YouTube and get a strike. I particularly like the video on YouTube produced by Stacy Huckabee in 2011 called Come to East Nashville. The movie was very cool with Todd as your hippy-dippy tour guide. He drove around East Nashville in winter with snow on the ground in a convertible, showing us the spots and what East Nashville had to offer. And it was fun. Talking about his next tour, Todd said in the video, he was going to play his song so hard on that tour he feared he might hurt the audience. The video showed a great community of creative people. In fact, many people wanted to pack their bags and move there after watching it, and I was no different. You even got a spiritual leader. Todd was the self-proclaimed pastor of the First Agnostic Church of Hope and Wonder. What a cool padre. At the First Agnostic Church of Hope and Wonder, they even sold jars of sunshine. But they had a disclaimer. They could not be responsible if you lost any sunshine when you opened the jar. Yeah, I think it was Todd. Just Todd. You felt like you knew him. He made me feel like I could go visit him and he would answer the door with his great toothy smile and piercing blue eyes that were full of life and mischief. When I heard about his passing, I did just what I wanted to do. I dug into his catalog and listened to his records and watched videos of his live shows. In his book, Todd said his songs came from listening to his idols, Jerry Jeff Walker. Man, the way he talked about his friend Jerry Jeff, it was wonderful. With so much love and admiration. He loved John Prine, Christofferson, Keith Sykes, Buffett, Guy Clark, Townes Van Zandt, Woody Guthrie, Ramblin' Jack Elliott, Dylan, and many more. Todd lived the life. He spent years on the road. When he rolled into a town, he would find people, anyone of his choosing, and hang out. Then later in the day, he'd say, "You want to go see a folk show?" They'd come along to see him play, even if they had just met him and might not be familiar with his music. Yep, Todd had me hooked. He was the best of the acoustic storytellers. He had a gift. He was natural with a great sense of humor. He could talk to an audience in a way that was unparalleled. Most of his stories were introductions to his songs. It drew you in. He had an honesty and vulnerability that touched you. You were getting 100% Todd, not a version for entertainment purposes. Todd said he didn't write a song to change anybody's mind, but to ease his own mind. A lot of it was ornery. He can make the real surreal and the surreal real. He wanted to please you and have you like him, but he remained like a cat. We all know you can't herd cats, and you couldn't herd Todd. You felt better that he was around, like an old friend. He made us feel good whenever we felt we were adrift off the mainstream path. Todd made it feel okay. There's a poster that says, "We don't mourn artists we never met because we knew them. We mourn them because they helped us know ourselves." I saw that on a John Prine poster. When I first came across Todd online, I checked him off. In this day and age of thousands of songs and other content at your fingertips, I had checked him off as someone I wanted to do a deeper dive on sometime, listen to more of his songs, and maybe go see one of his shows. But in this busy life, as we do, I put it on the back burner. I'm sorry I did. But I'm on that Todd Snider train now. I got a good seat, and I'm holding on to it. And as for my music, I'm still out there doing it, Todd. There's more than a little bit of you in me. I'm glad I got on the Todd Snider train. His art is out there. He created it for us, and his music lives on. And I just wanted to say thank you, Todd Snider. The train is still running, and Todd Snider still rules.